If you thought Mangusta built big, powerful, sexy sports cruisers, you'd be right, but they now also build this, the Oceano 44 metre. It's having its world debut here at Fort Lauderdale. This is in fact an exclusive and it's a bit of a departure. Steel hull, it's got a cruising range of 4,500 nautical miles, designed by Alberto Mancini. It's got 2 hot tubs, an epic beach club, and we are going to give you the full tour, so come along for the ride. I'm Jack Haines, welcome to YachtBuyer. And Mangusta are pretty precious about who they let film on board. They let us on board today, we appreciate that, and we'd appreciate you subscribing so you don't miss another tour. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, you'll be notified every single time. Right, on with the tour. We're going to start right at the top on the Sundeck, and if you're on the Sundeck you've got to have a hot tub, though this is a mere amuse-bouche when it comes to hot tubs on board this yacht, as we'll discover when we drop down a deck. Moving aft, there's this really nice big bar area, nice that you can walk into it as well. There's a grill over here, sink on this side, and you've got the bar stools as well so people can draw up and have a drink on both sides of the bar, which makes it a little bit more sociable. There's access to this deck from both sides, which is not something you always see. That's quite nice in terms of flow around the boat. And in this counter over there, there's a pop-up television, nice and close to this lovely round table underneath the hardtop. But the hardtop, which is inset with this lovely timber, has also got skylights dotted in the area so that you're getting natural light down here as well. And then right aft, well, this is just dedicated to pure sunbathing space, though there is the option to have some shade up here if it's a little bit too hot. Right, let's drop down to the bridge deck and have a look at that island hot tub. I've chosen to use the starboard staircase on this occasion. This staircase here runs down to the main deck, and we're now alongside the bridge, hence why we have a wing station here. These are on both sides and they give the skipper full control from outside the bridge. So you've got your throttles, thruster controls, comms, engine start and stop, meaning that you can see right forward, right aft and down the side really easily when coming into moor. Love the curved windscreen of the bridge. It looks amazing from the inside as well, so we'll head in there in a moment. And then look at this. They call it the island, and what a novel take on the hot tub. We see hot tubs on yachts all the time, but this really is something a bit different with the sort of moat around the outside. You don't have to get your feet wet though. You've got this bridge you can walk across if you just want to use the sun pads, and you keep going right forward to the hot tub itself, which is an infinity tub with wonderful views out over the bow. It's such a novel take on something you see a lot of, but it just makes so much more out of this area, and I think this makes this a space on board this boat where people are just going to want to live, hang out and have a good time. Let's head aft on the bridge deck. Right then, bridge deck aft. Some unique features here. One is that you've not got a dining table here. The dining outdoors on this boat is going to be done up on the sun deck. This is just a really flexible lounging area. You've got all this furniture that you can move around. It's all freestanding. These are fixed, these big sun pads, but they look lovely and comfortable, don't they? But then, yeah, here you can move this around however you want, depending on how you're using this area. The other thing you have is these lovely frameless glass balustrades, probably an absolute nightmare for the crew to keep clean, but you almost can't even see them when you're in this area. So again, that connection with the water is absolutely excellent. And then the other nice thing about this area is how well it connects so beautifully to the upper saloon, which is through a pair of electric sliding doors. We've got electric doors behind me here that lead into this area, but what's really nice about this space is that on both sides you have manual doors that slide open. Not just this section, but you can slide this section as well, so you can fully open up both sides and obviously pin those doors open. So then on a breezy, slightly cooler day than today, you can have all this lovely natural ventilation. And it's not just about ventilation, it's about views as well. Because they've used glass all the way around the outside, it is completely unbroken. You have such a good perspective of the sea from here, and that makes this a really lovely space. It's got a bright palette anyway, that's punctuated by things like the backlit marble and the blue panelling here on the uprights here, where actually you have hidden storage for things like glassware, all neatly tucked over there. Big television up here as well, nice place to come and retire and watch a film, have a drink of an evening. It's a really flexible space. You'll be able to open it up so nicely. That's not something you see all the time on yachts like this. Heading forward, we'll arrive to the bridge. This is a crew lobby area. There's access down there to the crew quarters. And moving forward, there's a small pantry here with a coffee machine in the fridge and another sliding door out onto the side deck. Office space here where the crew can do some work, paperwork, open up the laptop, and then you're right through into the bridge itself. And it is a bridge befitting a yacht that looks as good as this one. I've got to say, a lot of the bridges in these types of boat all look the same, but this has got real character. In fact, it reminds me a little bit of the Bonetti Oasis 40 metre with the floor-to-ceiling windows, and the view through them is remarkable. Especially you have the parting of the screens, so you can see really clearly through the deck and over the bow, and of course over the island there. The screens themselves, well, clearly there's 4 of them, and there's a real good mix of data here. You've got the time zero, you can see this is live weather data, really useful stuff. That cameras all over the boat, so the skipper can see all corners from up here on the bridge. Over on this side we've got navigation data, and then of course you've got all the digital switching for all the boat systems over on this side. A dinky little wheel, which suggests maybe it's not going to be used that often, which is probably the case because you've got rudder control, twin throttles and thrusters, and most of the time for slow speed stuff you're going to be out at the wing stations. She's got a pair of 2,600 horsepower MTUs, top speed of around 15 knots, but at 11.5 knots she can do 4,000 nautical miles, which is pretty good going. Moving aft, we come back into the bridge saloon with the TV and the seating area we saw earlier on. And then here on the starboard side, we have guest passageway. So there's another side door out onto the starboard side deck. There's a day head on this deck as well, which is quite handy. And then this staircase leads us down to the main deck. We're going to start by heading aft on the main deck to show you the saloon. Amidships you have the dining table, 12-person dining table, loads of space around it, some lovely detail here as well. This black marble in the middle, the lighting detail overhead is really nice as well. And this connects really well to the galley, which is through this sliding door here. So there's a crew pantry and then you're into the galley itself, which is really nicely equipped. And then moving further aft, we have this central island where there's a 2-way television that pops up from this counter. And then you're into your nice big living area, lovely comfortable sofas, floor to ceiling windows, so loads of natural light and great views out of here. And again, some really lovely detailing overhead with the underlighting, the sort of cloudy marble detail. It looks lovely, and there's nice squishy rug under my feet here rather than the hard floors that you have further forward. And if we move forward on this deck, we'll arrive at the owner's cabin. We're back into the central atrium now. There's another sliding door out here, and there's also a gangway that can be deployed from here if the yacht is side 2. That's a nice feature for getting guests on and off the boat. And there's a day head located over here as well. And now we are through into the owner's cabin, which starts with a simply vast array of storage, clothes storage this side, walk-in wardrobe on that side, loads of space for the owner to store their clothes. And then, wow, what a space this is. Totally flat floor. Huge head height through here as well, and you're probably already picking up what is a spectacular bathroom. We'll come onto that in a second. The bed is not small, but it almost seems small because there is just so much room around it, and there's some really nice detailing in here. Hardwood floor, as we've seen throughout, but as you get close to the bed, it's nice and soft, so when you're getting in and out of bed, that feels nice underneath your feet. Some nice detailing and lighting behind the bed head there, and the windows are floor to ceiling again, so natural light is great. But look at this. It's a real statement when you walk in here. It is a proper wow moment, and this boat is built in the heart of Italian marble country, and there is some beautiful marble on board. This has got a blue hue to it, and they're separate as well, so you've got separate sinks, separate toilets, and then the middle centerpiece, this enormous shower, full width bench, and there is some glazing by that island up on the foredeck, and that is what drawing natural light down into here, but you can change the glass to make so it's not see-through if you want some privacy in here. And on that note, there's also a blind, and you can drop this down and have some privacy when you're showering, but what a space. And that's not all. The final flourish, and it's quite a flourish, this is a private owner's balcony, and what's really nice about this is it's very easy for the owner to use. You push one button, it drops down, and then the railings, instead of having to pop them in, they spring out of the deck, and then it's ready to use. You've also got glass in the bottom, so at night when you've got the underwater lights on, the fish are all swimming in the light, you can see it through the balcony. Really, really cool. Let's carry on with the guest cabins. It's a 4-cabin arrangement here on the lower deck. They are identical on either side, so we're going to start by heading aft and looking at one of the doubles. These are a nice size, and there's some really playful detail in here. Nice colour scheme, it's bright and different and interesting. I would like the design of the wardrobes as well. And they're a good size, plenty of space for guests to store their clothes. Ooh, I found the snack cupboard. No, better not. Let's carry on to the bathroom. Bathrooms are a good size as well. Similarly decked out in beautiful marble, just like the owner's cabin, and actually goes back a nice long way. Very large separate shower cupola in there with a big rain shower head, and there's a TV hidden behind the mirror here. Let's head forward to one of the twins. As I've said, exactly the same over on that side, but the twins have got Pullman berths, so you can drop bunks down from the walls here, giving you an extra berth in each one, extra flexibility and good for charter operations. Obviously, this is a good time to show you the AV setup, so every cabin has got an iPad, lighting, climate control, TV, audio, all of that controlled through there, which is rather nice. And yeah, some lovely detailing here in the bedside tables with the marble tops, the bendy reading lights and storage down there, and of course another really nice private bathroom, and clothes storage is behind the doors here as well. Again, really good headroom, and we've got a similar sort of finish to that headlining detail that we saw up in the saloon. Not a huge hull window, but enough to get some natural light in. Now, I think it's about time to go and have a look at the beach club. Moving around to the cockpit first, you'll notice because there are no staircases here because they're down the side decks, there's lots of room in this area, nothing sort of eating into the floor space. Nice mix of furniture here, you've got these lovely curved sofas that face to the ones on the transom, movable coffee tables as well, and not a huge overhang, but you can get some extra shelter from these canopies that you can put up. And you've probably spotted the glazing underneath my feet. Well, the reason behind that will become apparent when we head down to the beach club. There's access down both sides of the cockpit down to this aft area, and this is obviously the transom door, closes up when the boat's on the move, but then when it folds down you get this really nice extended platform, big enough, as you can see, to have a couple of sun lounges. But what's really nice in this area is the beach club itself. And on a 44-metre yacht you get a proper beach club. Now if you're Peter Crouch's height, you're going to be having to get your stoop on, but for me it's 6 foot. Headroom is fine in here, and we're picking up that glass that I mentioned in the cockpit, and that's nice because these can often be dark caves, but you've got the glass, so there is natural light. And also these two panels that we can't open in the show, these teak ones, also drop down, so again, great views and better natural ventilation as well. What else have we got? Well, lots of floor space, a couple of seats down here so you can take the weight off in the shade. There's a day head over on this side, so guests have got really easy access to a toilet when they're using the toys, such as the sea bob mounted on the wall behind me. And there's a really nice bar down here as well. It's not just a place to serve drinks, it's also a socializing area. We've got more bar stools, we've got the day beds either side. This would be a really nice place to hang out in the day. Let me know in the comments below, would you rather spend the day down here or up at the island on the bow? Engine room access is through this door on the port side deck. But down this ladder then into engine room, and once you're past the exhaust, it's very easy to move around in here. One generator is tucked down here. This is the water maker. This is something you wouldn't maybe expect to see on all 45 metres. There's an actual engineer's control room where he's obviously got all the controls for the systems. You've got cameras up here as well, so when he's tucked down here you can see what's going on around the boat, and you've got screens as well with all the tankage, similar to what you have up at the helm station. Little workbench down here, it's absolutely clean as a whistle, and frankly the MTUs look a little bit lost in this massive space. It's very easy to move all the way around them, see down into the bilges. Very robust, high quality engineering down here as well, from the strainers to the fuel filters to all the pipe work, which is really neatly labelled with all the flow directions as well. Looking around you can just really clearly see whether everything's in order. Another generator in the corner over there, and there's another access point as well, so you don't always have to come down the same side if you need to get out on the opposite side of the engine room. It's a really impressive space. Oh, final thing, stabilisers. CMC fins, which will work when the boat is stationary and when it's on the move. Right, to the crew space. Right then, into the crew quarters. Now the boat is in use, the crew on board, it's a busy boat road show, so there's a lot of stuff being stowed down here. So I'll put the deck plan up, I can show you the arrangement, how many cabins there are, how many crew are on board, but this is their crew space. This is the mess area where they've got the seating area, nice big table, obviously you've got a sink and some cooling space, dishwasher and a microwave over on that side. Television, so they can watch that when they're relaxing, and then like most crew areas, really key that they can see everything from down here as well, not only visually seeing the cameras, but another screen as well with all the software, so they can control the systems from down here as well. Incidentally, the captain has his own private cabin up on the bridge. This line was a big departure for Mangusta. They wanted to offer their customers something more than the big flash, sexy sports cruiser, and they've done that in spades. More volume, more toys to play with. It's got beach club, it's got 2 hot tubs, it's got those lovely cabins, and it's also got pretty extraordinary range, 4,500 nautical miles. It's dripping with Italian cool, but it's got cruising pedigree as well. Let me know what you think about the boat in the comments below. Thank you for watching that tour of the Mangusta Oceano 44. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a like if you did. And if you like your big Italian stuff, we sea trialed the Pershing GTX 80. I'll put that for you up there. Put some more of our super yacht tours down here for you. And if you would like to subscribe, you can do that by clicking up here. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jack Haines. This is YachtBuyer.